So, the Ime Udoka situation, at this point, that's not even what people are talking about. The smoke has been directed to someone else. Malika Andrews. Malika Andrews has been getting a lot of smoke recently on Twitter, on social media. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Sage, this surprises me. Hey, Malika's been the angel ever since the Rachel Nichols situation happened. First of all, what do you think about all the smoke? No pun intended.
Hey, I know of what she said. Now, how she said it, I don't know if I can. I'm habitual line stepping at the moment. I need a refresher.
And they didn't give parameters of what it would take to reinstate
They gave no parameters of what it would take for reinstatement. They didn't specify what punishment they gave him beyond suspending him for the year. Is he getting his salary for this upcoming season? Has it been cut in half? I told he's only getting about 50% of it. Has that been cut in half?
Characterized as a significant financial penalty.
So you've got that going on. And I'm going to say this again. It said in the numerous news reports, it was a consensual relationship that violated organizational policy. So only he is in violation of the company policy. The woman who elected to have a consensual relationship with him is not in violation. He gets to get mentioned and put on Front Street. We don't know who she is. What about the other women within the Celtics organization who have been victimized because wrong assumptions have been made by their involvement? If you knew exactly who it was, that would alleviate the concerns of all the other women who have had their names paraded out into the streets.
Hey, Mr. Stephen A. is spitting, which is based off of that take, because I think it's important to contextualize all the smoke for Malika. Let's get the context of the whole conversation. A lot of what's been going on is people looking at the clip of her just going off on Stephen A. and just knowing exact, details about what's going on with the email situation and just going crazy on her. I think it's important to just let's set a baseline of the whole conversation. Let's have full context. And I will say so far, Stephen A. is right. Stephen A. is right. I don't know of a reason as to why we only know it's Ime that's involved in the situation. And even if so, there should be repercussions on both sides. Now, have they detailed that? No. But as of what we know, it looks like it's just Ime getting punished for this. And nothing's really come out about, the other people involved, which is pretty sus. If everything was equal, punishment should be delivered equally. But that's just me.
What about them? You ain't thinking about that. So here we are. We're throwing him out to pasture. And again, Ime Udoka cannot be defended. His actions are his actions. Nobody fights for black coaches more than me. But I am telling you, a firing would have been warranted. Yeah. Or you keep him. But to keep him, yet suspend him, by the way, not just suspend him, but for the suspension to be indefinite.
It's almost worse, like a lame duck status.
That's what you did. You ruined his career.
Yeah, at this point, bro, his career is ruined. It's ruined. So this 1 year suspension just makes no sense to me. At this point, bro, just fire him. Even if he comes back, it's going to be weird. Do the Celtics want a situation where they're going to have an interim coach for 1 year? Bro's going to get fired. You're going to bring back the coach, and we're just going to move forward like nothing happened? That's not going to be the case. There's going to be tension in the locker room, tension in the workplace. And if this whole situation is about tension in the workplace and, making sure the team and the organization, there's no fraternization and everything's working fine and dandy. If that's the case, there's no reason for him to be in the organization. I find it very weird that it is a 1 year suspension. Same thing with the Robert Sarver situation. 1 year? If you don't pack his ass up or just keep him on, well, for him, just pack his ass up. But
yeah, I'm about to say, Sarver can get the fuck. Benji. Look. I think on the last video, I even admitted that 1 year was crazy, but the more I thought about it, the more I really regretted those words. Don't you see? They don't want nobody else to get Ime. They said, fuck it. We're going to suspend him a year, and for the next good year, there's going to be some women that come on the TV. They're going to go on them. And then there's going to be a counter argument, call them dudes bozos, and then the counter to the counter. And it's going to be so much drama. He's a headache in the locker room. You don't want him. And then they're going to look back at this year at some point. And time always doesn't age well for losers. They're going to be like, if Jimmy really made the shot, this motherfucker wouldn't even made it that far. And slowly but surely, he ain't that good for real. That's still Brad's team. You know, Jason Tatum was just him. Let Tatum get a ring. Oh my God. Yeah, you know, they just want him gone. They just want him gone. Celtics W sabotage. I ain't gonna lie. This is the perfect third imposter play by Malika Andrews, by Stephen A. Smith, Perkins, everybody that spoke on it. You're the best third imposter I've ever seen in my life. 100%.
Yo, no cap, Sage. Side note, I saw that Jimmy Butler missed 3 on my timeline today. Retweeted it. Well, let's move on. Let's move on. Not even a quote retweet or anything. There was no edit. There was no take on the tweet. It was just a video.
This nigga's killing me. Yo, he is actually killing me.
Just a disclaimer, chat. Sage's voice is gone, by the way. I think it's pretty clear at this point.
I'm gonna do the pod tonight. I ain't gonna be podding.
So getting back into the content, after Stephen A. said what he had to say, they did bring Malika Andrews on to give her take on the situation. And this is the viral clip that's been going around and why she's getting a lot of smoke. So let's go ahead and watch it.
Stephen A., with all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. What became apparent to me in this press conference is that we do not have all of the information here. And it was frustrating to me that the Celtics declined to elaborate or to give more specifics about what exactly the rule breaking was that led us to this point. So that I just want to get that out of the way first. But to answer your question, Molly, I think what stood out to me, I think what stood out to me is that Brad Stevens, he was upset. That's what stood out to me about what he termed rampant Twitter BS is the word that he used, that women were unfairly dragged into this within the Celtics organization. You could see that Brad Stevens was visibly upset about this. And I also found that to be gross and unnecessary, that folks were bringing in the names and the images of women that is just not a fact, that was purely speculation. And so to me, that is what stood out. But the Celtics as an organization could have done more, and short of doing more ahead of this yesterday, they could have owned that responsibility in this press conference. I understand that there were legal parameters that they had to operate within for everybody involved, and I appreciate the fact that they brought in outside counsel and did a thorough organization. And I think that that is something that was clearly necessary in this situation. But the fact that it was able to go on all day, the fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
Damn. And that's where all the smoke came from right there. Let's play it a little bit more because there's a little bit more to the smoke.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not mentioning. Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've already said he deserves to be fired, or he deserves to be there and handle it internally and privately. If you're not going to handle it privately, if you're going to publicize it in that fashion, then obviously it provokes everybody wanting to know, okay, well, who are the parties involved? When you have Amina Smith in Boston and other women pointing out the fact that there were women who were wrongly implicated in all of this, it's a disservice to them. I didn't come out with the report about a consensual relationship. I didn't come out with the report ahead of time leaking that they were going to suspend him for the year. They did that. And my point is, considering how pervasive this kind of stuff has existed in professional sports for many years, my whole point is that, excuse me, make sure that you handle it in the same fashion it has always been handled. You could have fired him, and then we could have speculated till the cows come home, but he's gone. But to keep him there, keep him employed, but in the same breath, suspend him for a year, then also that year is indefinite. That is the issue that I have. Nobody's trying to protect Ime Udoka, and certainly nobody is trying to protect, is to excoriate the women involved or anything like that. I'm talking about how things of this matter are usually handled from an HR perspective, from an organizational perspective. That is not consistent with what we have seen throughout the years. That is the only point that I was trying to make.
So that's pretty much the gist of the conversation of the back and forth. And let me start here. I think both of them are right. Truly, from what we heard from Stephen A., I don't disagree with anything that he said from the beginning of the video. I don't. And then when I heard what Malika said, I don't disagree with anything that she said as well. She talked about how the lack of information attributed to women being targeted wrongfully, and now the Celtics could have handled it better. Sage, I don't know about you, but when I heard her segment, I didn't hear anything wrong up until when she called out Stephen A. Did she say anything wrong? I don't think she did.
I think the thing, from what I know at least, or what my own opinion could be, because I don't care about Eam. That nigga nutted the season away. What I know is that, yeah, bro, she accusing the wrong guy. I say that. But outside of that, I mean, cook. But yeah, I think she's on the wrong guy's head.
I actually agree with the stance of, like, yes, she misinterpreted what Stephen A. had to say. Stephen A. was definitely not trying to, blame women in this instance. He was not trying to target black women in this instance. He specifically said in his part that, no one's trying to put the blame game over here. It's just, let's hold people accountable in an equal way, which I think is fine. But truly, and what I really wanted to get into in this video, what I heard from both sides is it's not really Malika that's at fault. It's not really Stephen A. that's the problem in this instance. It's the reporting. Chat, it's the reporting that I have a problem with. Because Stephen A.'s whole take is based off of the assumption that this is consensual. Period. If this whole situation was not consensual, Stephen A.'s take would not have been what it is. Period, point blank. But the reason why it was what it was because of what they talked about. Stephen A. said, it's not my fault that this was the reporting, which he's right. It isn't his fault. It's Woj's fault. It's Sham's fault. I know on Twitter I just said Woj, but it's the whole sports media and how they handled the situation. Off rip, it was already a vague situation. Off rip. Well, I don't know if it's the Celtics putting out vague information to the media, which then they're just relaying what the Celtics said. I don't know if the Celtics, put out a more detailed report and it's the media making things vague for the sake of being first to the story. But what has happened because of how reporting has happened on the situation is that women have been victimized and dragged on Twitter. That's where Malika's frustration really comes from, is her seeing on Twitter, going on Twitter and seeing women being dragged for literally no reason. Because they didn't do anything. So when she comes on this platform and she has this anger, I just see where she's coming from. It's not coming from nowhere, chat. Now, I do think, again, she misinterpreted what Stephen A. had to say, which is why she's been getting smoke and why she is at fault to a certain degree. But when I look at the situation, it is truly a matter of bad reporting. Because when the reports first came out, Twitter specifically targeted this one assistant coach. Chat, y'all know who I'm talking about. Seif put the picture on the screen. We all know specifically the person I am talking about. Her name is Allison Feaster, right? And as the days moved on, people just assumed that it was her because people literally looked at the Celtic staff, looked at the first attractive woman and just, Ime had to pull her. But as reports came out, as tweets came out from official people, Mark J. Spears, by the way, I believe like 2 days after, tweeted out, it is literally not her. And then more news came out that confirmed that it's not her. As more of this news came out, it just became nasty in retrospect what Twitter essentially made of her. Like there was conversations about colorism regarding her and Ime's alleged relationship, which ended up being false in the first place. This shit is nasty. She was getting blamed. They were comparing her to Nia Long. The whole situation was just nasty. Her reputation was dragged through the mud. She was viewed as a homewrecker for 24, 48 hours, and people will not forget. They won't forget. So when I look at this whole Stephen A. Malika situation and Twitter, again, I'm not really looking at this interaction just in a vacuum, truly. What I saw was bad reporting, chat. And this is the repercussions of bad reporting.
As my brother just said, man, if Woj wasn't focused on the thumbnail, and I love Woj, but that's when I knew something was about to be off.
Yeah, let me just pull that up, bro.
Oh man, it was nasty. It was so nasty. When Woj focused on the thumbnail, when you had fucking fuck that. When Woj focused on the thumbnail.
Yeah, Chad, I got it on the screen.
But,
it's just it should just be a picture of Ime, but breaking news from Woj at Woj ESPN. Breaking news. I'm like, come on, bro.
All right, but let me not completely troll because my man just cooked. Man, when you have a situation where reporters are clearly going out there to spread their own name and to be first, something will always not be ruled absolute. When you had people on ESPN, I don't know if it's all on ESPN, maybe FS1 or podcast or whatever, talking about what they personally know. Sources say you have players that I don't know if we react to or not in this video, talking about they know certain stuff and that's changed their outlook on things. It's just like, yo, at the end of the day, you like a girl like Malika is gonna kill a guy like Stephen A for having a stance, but Malika might know exactly what happened, or Stephen A might know exactly what happened. But at the end of the day, everything is so fucking vague that people is just going on each other for not having a side. And when you see people killing Malika for how she feels, it's typically that counter wall. So as a man, you may understand it. To the comment section, y'all are like kids or grown ass men, so you may understand it. But for the shorties, they're gonna view it in the sense of, why are y'all so quick to put down the woman? Why are you so quick to put down the woman? So niggas will have this guard that they want to put up, and they'll be like, yeah, nah, fuck that. You just trying to hunt out for your shorty. At the end of the day, what's wrong is wrong, fair is fair. But y'all not even hearing each other. y'all not even hearing each other. If y'all heard what the motherfuckers was saying to each other, Malika wouldn't have came at Stephen A. Stephen A was only hostile because she was coming at him that way. There's other situations Malika's involved in where it's like, I'm not even talking about that shorty, and vice versa. Malika talking to somebody though, because there's motherfuckers on Twitter talking about, nah, it had to be shorty. Oh, let's play. Let's name this woman. Oh, it weren't her, my bad. And you already done ruined the fucking life and told her that she ain't shit compared to Nia Long. There's nothing. Yeah. There's no my bad that y'all not even saying, but there's no my bad you can do about that. And the worst part is, as Soul said, and as I've said as well, but I just want to bring it back. At the end of the day, this is shit reporting. If it came out, and I hope it's not true, not because I like or I'm gonna say Ime Udoka, let me be mature, but I just don't want more kind of people like this in the world. Let it be an R-word situation. No, if we knew that he R-worded a woman, rest in peace, get him out of here. So it's the fact that we don't know. The first word we saw was consensual. That's where all this conspiracy bullshit comes from. If at the end of the day, we just knew it's 100% consensual with this woman, or it is sexual relations, we don't know if it's consensual with questionable person. Even those two slight differences change everything. The fact that we're reviewing, wait, was it consensual? It's crazy enough to tell you about the reporting, bro.
And that's what's tough about the situation, is because as a community, we look at Woj and Sham specifically as like, yo, when they put it out, it is the law. It is official. It is a fact. There is no, are you a credible reporter? Just because you got a verified badge doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying, you got credible sources. When Woj and Shams put out something, it is official. That's just how we look at it. So when we look at the situation and then later on, now we're doubling back on, yo, was it even consensual in the first place? And then we see a person like Matt Barnes going around and saying, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was defending Ime Udoka day one, but as I found out about the truth about the situation, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if he never coaches again, and this situation is much worse than what meets the eye. When I see a person like Richard Jefferson put out the tweets that he put out that day, again, I'm looking at that reporting from the first 48 hours. I'm very disappointed because of the results of what happened. But also I'm looking at Malika and all this pushback that she's been getting. And it's like, damn, she might end up being right in the situation. Her concerns were completely valid. But on the same token, I'm looking at Stephen A. and, hey, Woj tweeted out something. Shams tweeted out something. And I'm just going based off of that and making my take. So I don't blame Stephen A. as well. With this whole situation, people are so quick to just put a blame on someone, to point fingers, when the reality is we do not know. We do not know. And what frustrates me about the discourse and the conversations going on about this whole situation is it always starts with if. It always starts with allegedly. And then you're going to say this take of if X happened, then blah, 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 blah. And you're just going hard at this individual, whether that's Ime, the organization, Malika, Stephen A., et cetera, the reporters. It always starts with if. And the fact is, we just don't know. That's why on this channel, I still haven't come out with a hard take on if I feel like the suspension is warranted or not. Because I don't want to leap assumptions about a case that is truly still ongoing. The facts are not out. Chat, it is okay to not know. I don't know if this is a hot take, but it is okay to not know about shit and just admit that you do not know and keep it pushing. Just wait until you receive more information, more inputs on your take, and go about it that way. Trust me, it's not that hard, y'all. Especially for people who don't even have big platforms and are making money off of their takes. You're just on Twitter with 500 followers spewing bullshit. At that point, no clout shit, but that's what it is. And when you have 10,000 accounts with 400 followers spewing bullshit, it does amount to a lot of bullshit on the internet. So that's it. That's it.
You hit it once again, brother. I ain't gonna lie, my man Soul's cooking this vid. I just wanted to say as a side note, or maybe as an add-on, but like even when it comes down to RJ, I barely check comments too, so I don't know what made me check these. But so as I know you don't check comments, but they was on us for the RJ interpretation. Some people thought that we were spitting, and other people was like, you guys misinterpreted what he said. Damn, I can't do the voice, but y'all misinterpreted what he said. And I'm like, but that's a problem right there though. Like I don't consider I'm part-time stupid, but I'm not fully clocked in. And so I don't think Souls is a stupid guy at all. The fact that like we have to play these mental gymnastics to decipher a goddamn tweet, and he was being cryptic. Like, I don't care what y'all say, he's being a little cryptic about it. It's just like, damn. It's like, damn, does somebody have the truth? Does Eam need to come out here and DNA test the shit and like whatever we need, bro? Y'all making a mess of it. But that's what I'm saying. The Celtics are imposters at the end of the day, because I'm pretty sure Brad know everything. He won his job back. Hey, that's how we're gonna take it to a lighter note. Yeah, but this is a serious subject, man. This is crazy.
But with that being said, man, just wait till all the facts come out. I don't know why you're in such a rush to get a take on the story. You'll be fine, bro. Go to school. Go to your job. You'll be fine. But with that being said, we'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace out.
Peace.